Shalom party people, and welcome to the 12th C. It is November 30th, 2022, day 60 of 75 hard for me. 25 degrees Fahrenheit at 6 a.m., ran 3 miles in approximately 25 minutes. Did some additional walking and stretching for my other workout. Photo, gallon, 199.2 pounds, peanut butter banana oatmeal for breakfast, brisket nachos for lunch, and red beans and rice for dinner. Did my Bible reading in 1 Corinthians 8 through 2 Corinthians 1. All right. So I have moved on in my nonfiction reading. I have finally gotten around to killing sacred cows. So this one is, the subtitle on it is Overcoming Financial Myths That Are Destroying Your Prosperity. And it's by Garrett B. Gunderson. So he runs a website, a podcast. I think it's called The Wealth Factory. He's got some more out there financial practices, I guess, that he encourages. So your typical financial advisors, your typical finance people are going to tell you to, just make steady, stable investments and work your way up. They're going to be pushing mutual funds and indexes and retirement accounts and things like that. And it's relatively known that the only people who are truly retiring off of 401ks are the people who are selling them. There definitely is a way to make money and grow wealth over a very long time when you are slowly, stably investing. It's something that, it's worked for a long time, and that's why the advice has been there. I also have seen people get fed up with the way markets are going and have gone and, went in the past. And if your retirement date lines up with a severe dip in the market and you start working at a severe dip in the market, there's a lot of people who are coming out of retirement right now to work. So, it's not like it's an ironclad way of gaining wealth. But it's worked for a lot of people. So I don't want to knock that at all. I don't want to tear down the institutions that, and the systems that are at least semi-working for a lot of people. Where Garrett B. Gunderson is coming at on this, I'm in the first chapter right now, and I've heard some of his stuff in the past. He's had some non-traditional ways to grow wealth. Bare bones principle is he teaches that what is more important than, your bottom line numbers and things like that is what's your cash flow. If you have stuff coming in, if you have a way to generate passive income, then that is better than doing the rat race. And that's not uncommon by any means. His first chapter is not radical at all, but he's talking about one of the myths that is kind of predicated, I guess, and is that, there's only so much to go around, that, we're living in a world of scarcity. And, that's a common enough thing that people believe, is that, oh, there's only so much to go around, and maybe there's too many people. And since there's too many people, there's not enough resources, and the whole, Thanos, maybe if we can snap away half, then the resources are like, well, could Thanos have doubled the resources? And arguably, we can double the resources. Because if you think about it, not that long ago in our timeline, very few people had air conditioning. Very few people had wardrobes full of clothes. Very few people had ways to communicate long distances for relatively inexpensive prices. Very few people had ways to watch the amount of media and entertainment that we watch. Very few people had ways to hear the amount of music that we have the ability to hear. Very few people had the ability to heat their homes without burning something that was, a severe fire hazard for them and everyone in the house. Not to mention, potential carbon monoxide poisoning if you didn't have proper ventilation for what you were burning. not that long ago, medicine wasn't great, and you were more likely to die by actually going and seeking medical help than you were to actually just suffer on your own. Not that long ago, we didn't have very good ways of identifying cancers and treating them, relatively early. And don't get me wrong, our advancement has caused some of the things that are plaguing us by all means. Some of our advancements have, made chemicals that have gone in and accelerated cancers. Some of our things have gone in and caused more workplace accidents than ever before. Some of our, advancements have, caused huge disparities. So that stuff is real, but at the same time, a relatively poor person in the United States, and I'm not talking someone who's homeless under the bridge, but I'm talking a person who doesn't have a lot of income in the United States today, probably has an iPhone or a smartphone like it, probably has more than 10 changes of clothes, probably has a heated home or, a heated dwelling that they're either renting or having access to, probably has a mode of transportation that is semi-reliable, if not very reliable. That 50 years ago was wealth. If you really think about it, I mean, you look at our literacy rates, that wasn't a thing 100 years ago. That wasn't a thing 120, 130 years ago. So we have come a long way. And the key to beating scarcity is creating value. And that's something that is talked about in that first chapter, is that finite pie, while it may be there, how we beat it is adding value to the world. If you are able to solve people's problems, you can capitalize on that. If you are able to create something out of raw materials and better somebody's life, you'd be amazed that, case in point, a whole bunch of us have seen Back to the Future Part 3. So a plot hole in that movie is that they don't have any gasoline to put in the DeLorean to make it go. If you think about it, that where they were, when they were, there was an oil boom going on. And in that time frame, which I believe was like 1885, maybe 1855, either way, you have oil refining going on, and gasoline was a byproduct of them refining that oil. And they were throwing it away because they thought it was useless. Gas is going in a whole lot of things these days. And yeah, the price goes up and down or whatever. But what are we throwing away that we think is useless? That literally one man's trash, somebody figures out some value behind it and is able to revolutionize an industry. It'd be really cool if we could have that thing where we could throw the trash in the little flux capacitor and it could make it power everything. Not right now, but I'm not going to rule that out in, my kid's lifetime. Theoretically, somebody could figure it out. So I don't want to live life limiting myself to, oh, hey, there's only so much to go around. I want to switch my mindset to looking at how can we create value. And if you can create value, then you can theoretically capitalize on that. So that, I think, is a much better outlook. And I think that's why I like that first chapter a lot, it is a mindset shift. It is not a, wild and crazy principle. So find a problem, solve it. By solving it, if you can, hey, I've got the solution to what this is going on. I see that there's a real gap in the market for this type of product, and I have the ability to create that or outsource it to where it is being done, and then I can capitalize off of it. you know, I would love to capitalize off of the need that I see in the, you know, preparedness community for conditioning. And I would love to continue to condition myself and inspire others to do that. You know, I'm not a crazy prepper. I don't have a bunker. I don't have, you know, hordes and hordes of stuff. I'm doing this on one income. That being said, I think one of the best ways that I can prepare myself for if times get hard, when times get hard, because let's face it, times have gotten hard in the past and they're probably going to get hard again in the future. I mean, if you subscribe to reading the book that I read, it sure does talk about times are going to get hard. So whether that's in my lifetime or not, nations rise and fall. So being conditioned for life getting hard is going to be a lot better preparation than just having stuff and not knowing how to use it. And I would like to know how to use the stuff that I have better. And then I would like to increase some of that stuff to where I've got quality gear, but if I don't know how to use it, it ain't nothing. So that's why I really want to push the conditioning stuff. I see the value in it. And if I can encourage others to do the same and get up and actually go use your stuff, go and do hard things, then, you know, we can walk away better from the lessons that we learned, because by actually putting in the time of learning how to do stuff, that's going to save us on the back end from stuff gets hard and then we have to figure out how to use it. That ain't going to do none of us no good. So all in all, go look around, see what needs fixing. And if you can be someone who provides the solution, you're creating value. So go do hard things.